So Dogecoin and other cryptos are really struggling right now. And because of this, a lot of people are worried that the worst is yet to come. In this video, I'll talk about some data that proves why Dogecoin and crypto's trajectory could change aren't really going to zero. So before talking about the new data, let's look at everything that's spreading FUD in the market. We'll start with the biggest altcoin Ethereum and then compare it to Dogecoin in a minute. So one thing that a lot of people are concerned about is that the number of addresses in loss for Ethereum just reached a 14-month high of 14 million. And if we look at the same metric for Shiba Inu, things are even worse for it. So yesterday, the profitability rate for Shiba Inu dropped to 44%, making it unprofitable for the majority of its holders. Now I understand that this is genuinely something to be worried about, but there's some data for Shiba Inu that suggests that its trajectory will change for the better very soon. Before I talk about it, let's look at the same metric for Dogecoin. As you can see here, currently more than 52% of Dogecoin holders are in profit. While this is not a big number, I'm still happy that it's doing way better than Shiba Inu right now. Coming back to Ethereum, take a look at this. Searches for the term "sell Ethereum" skyrocketed by 1,000% in the last 24 hours. This just proves that the FUD in the market is palpable. Another thing I want to talk about is the Google Trends data for ETH and Bitcoin. So as you can see here, the interest in Bitcoin has slid by 72 points in the last 8 months. And it also talks about how the interest in terms related to cryptocurrency is also decreasing. So the point is that people are switching their attention towards NFT and metaverse, the two things that influencers like Gary Vee have been promoting lately. Coming back to cryptos, even Michai Lumi, one of the head devs of Dogecoin, is really worried about where we're heading from here. And then there are a lot of retail investors who are predicting that cryptos are going to zero from here. But that's not all. Even some big players are predicting that altcoins are going to zero. So the BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes recently issued an altcoin warning. He said that everything apart from Ethereum and Bitcoin can crash to zero. And everything apart from these two obviously includes Dogecoin. He also said that, "If I believe that Bitcoin could trade below 30K and Ether below 2K in a 3 to 6 month time horizon, I will dump all of my shitcoins. That is because Bitcoin and Ether are the highest quality coins, and they will decline less than all their yet to be proven competitors." I hope you get the point. He's really skeptical about where we're going from here. Now the thing is that these big players are completely ignoring some important data for Bitcoin. We're talking about Bitcoin because it has a huge impact on Dogecoin's price too. So the first data point is the RSI for Bitcoin. It has been this low just 2 other times in the last 2 years, and every single time it got there, we saw a big bounce after it. The second metric is the number of non-zero addresses. As you can see, it just reached an all-time high of over 39,704,000 addresses. So this just proves that retail investors are still there in the market, and they're also probably holding on to their cryptos. It's just the big whales and institutions that caused this big shift in the market. So I think here's what happened. After the ETF news in November, a lot of these big whales started loading. And right after the Fed interest news, they started unloading very quickly. But the activity of some whales can't represent the sentiment of every whale on the market. It says here that the venture capital guru Katie Haun is reportedly raising $900 million for 2 crypto funds following her departure from Andreessen Horowitz. Basically, she's raising this money to invest in crypto startups. Now, a big player like her knows where the market is heading from here, and it is a very calculated bet on her part. And this is why I'm quite optimistic. Another thing is that according to new data, some other whales are also jumping back in the market. There's one whale who bought around 400 bitcoins right after that crash. And it also talks about how after the crash, 2 accounts holding 321 and 1,300 bitcoins have become active after more than 8 years of inactivity. Now, let's talk about some predictions from analysts who've been in this game for a very long time. The first one is Goldman Sachs. So according to Goldman Sachs co-head of Global FX and EM strategy Zach Pandal, Bitcoin would rise over 50% of the store of value market share in the next 5 years. Also, as a result of the gold market share growing, Bitcoin's price value will also increase to 100K. And then another prediction came from crypto billionaire Brock Pierce. He is the chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation, and he recently said that Bitcoin's price could hit a massive 200K by the end of this year. He said that the price volatility of Bitcoin offers outsized returns for investors and could continue to serve as a catalyst for its growth this year. And then another prediction came from the Singapore-based crypto trading firm QCP Capital. They said that, if the market has based at these levels, we might get that short squeeze we've been waiting so patiently for. And I think they might be right. So the crypto-focused analytics firm Into the Block said that a potential Bitcoin short squeeze could be in the works. Their prediction is based on the ratio of Bitcoin's open interest relative to its market cap, which recently hit a one-year peak of roughly 2.25%. Also, according to data provided by CoinGlass, Bitcoin futures open interest, which represents all outstanding contracts held by traders, recently reached a new record high of $16.68 billion. Talking about this, Into the Block recalls that the open interest market cap ratio also increased when Bitcoin fell to 30K in July 2021. And we all know what happened after that. If you don't remember, right after, Bitcoin began its uptrend and reached an all-time high of 63K in 3 months. And so considering everything, they expect Bitcoin to do exactly the same this time around too. Now, let's come back to the market sentiment and overall perception. So Bitcoin stands at the exact same spot it did a year ago. And this is how people's perception of it has changed. On January 8, 2021, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index stood at 93 and it showed extreme greed on its charts. And a year later, when Bitcoin stands at the exact same spot, the index stands at a score of 10, which is perhaps the lowest it's been all year. So the point is that people probably get more afraid when it comes to Bitcoin's fluctuations. They're probably ignoring the fact that gold is in the red when compared to where it was last year. And it's fascinating that no one's talking about it. Now, this 40.7K level for Bitcoin has another major significance. So at the end of September 2021, Bitcoin reached 40.7K, and 7 weeks after that, we saw it rise to 64K. So it'll be interesting to see if Bitcoin does it again this time. In any case, I'd love to know what you think about it, so let me know in the comments section below. Now, before I talk about Dogecoin, I want to talk about some other big opportunities in the market right now. Earlier in this video, I talked about how many people are shifting their attention towards NFT and Metaverse, and I think that's totally sane and justifiable. The CEO of FTX recently pointed out that an Ethereum-based altcoin, which currently has a market cap of $6 billion, proves just that. He said that, "I think Axie Infinity is proof of how powerful this can be because it was from a lot of perspectives really coming from a place of weakness, not strength. Like it didn't have adoption before getting involved with crypto to build off of." And talking about NFT, Kevin O'Leary predicts that NFT will become bigger than Bitcoin because of their ability to record property ownership. While I don't completely agree with that, I have to say that this aspect of NFT definitely makes them very lucrative. If you don't know, the NFT market's value rose to $41 billion in 2021. So I think you could also check out the big NFT and Metaverse projects till the crypto market stabilizes. Now coming back to Dogecoin, it's currently trading at just over 15 cents. And as you can see, most of its technicals are bearish. The 50-day simple moving average is below 200-day moving average, which is considered overall negative. But despite that, I'm optimistic about Dogecoin because of all the predictions and analysis that we just talked about for Bitcoin. As you can see here, the correlation between Dogecoin and Bitcoin's price has now risen to 0.87. This just implies that there's a high probability that Bitcoin is going to have a huge impact on Dogecoin's price in the near future.